7 times you'll want to give up on your music career and how to get past them. Number 1. When you have a dismal turnout. Booking the date, securing a lineup, all those hours of practice, a perfectly planned and delivered promotional strategy. Even if you do all of that, there's always a chance that the crowd just doesn't come out. It's disappointing, yes, but it's not necessarily a reflection of your work or your worth. The low turnout could be caused by a scheduling conflict. It could be due to the weather. The bulk of your fan base might be feeling particularly overworked and underpaid, and people were too exhausted or too broke to support you physically or financially. These things aren't within your control. Don't take them too personally. There are times, of course, when a mistake in booking or advancing the show could be to blame. Dwelling on your mishaps, though, won't do much for sturdier chances next time around, and trying to pinpoint exactly what went wrong is often a futile effort. Your energy is far better spent thoroughly plotting your next performance. Dismal turnouts happen to everyone, even seasoned acts. Remember that and move forward. Get started on the next gig sooner rather than later. Number 2. When your album is majorly delayed. One of the worst case scenarios within this struggle is when you've got an album release show planned and fully promoted, and massive delays leave you with no physical copies to offer at the actual show. This is an embarrassing moment. Album delays are a universal issue for do-it-yourself indie releases. Of course, that's not the only reason folks in the independent realm sometimes fail to deliver on schedule. Sometimes the funding isn't there. No matter how much effort was put into financial planning, things happen. It's a complete bummer, of course, but your fans will understand. Again, it's not really uncommon. Don't let a holdup in releasing physical material get you down. You've already done so much hard work and rework your plans to ensure you can properly celebrate once your order finally arrives. Number 3. When you get ripped off by a promoter or venue. This one's doubly pressing. Not only are you hurt and feeling taken advantage of, but you're also now missing income that you've been counting on. A situation like this, though, is a chance for you to band together with your do-it-yourself community. Whether this happened at a local show or while on tour, consult with other acts. Has anyone else had this problem? If it's a reoccurring one, you could work together to right a long-standing wrong. At the very least, you could help another act avoid the same terrible experience. It's not okay. Obviously that these things happen. It's absolutely unfair to any artist and any promoter or any venue to welch on an agreement. Don't let one awful promoter or venue spoil your enthusiasm for the overall effort, though. There are a lot of people in the do-it-yourself world who aren't looking to fill their own pockets, but who do actually, truly, seriously care about artists and musicians. Number 4. When you're forced to cancel a show. Everyone's had to bail on a commitment before, but when you've got a fan base, canceling a scheduled event has a broader impact. You may feel like it's disrespectful. You may feel humiliated. Either way, hiding under a rock forever is not the answer. If you can, explain to your fans why you've been forced to cancel. In all likelihood, they'll be empathetic. When it's a very personal situation and you don't want to divulge too much, don't. They'll likely get the gist, and won't criticize. People can be more understanding than you'd expect. Consider the cancellation an opportunity to make the rescheduled event even better. Number 5. When your gear is stolen. The obliteration of your sense of security and the overwhelming creepiness that someone's invaded your privacy and feelings that go hand in hand with experience of break-in, and really, those are the mildest emotions in a little could have been done worse scenario. If your tour van is cleaned out by a thief, you can add to that feeling of hopelessness, all your gear gone. Just like that. Once you've gone through the legalities, filing a police report, you should lean on your friends. Call out to your network, your fans, your family, and anyone else who will listen. Be open about what has happened. People will listen, and someone or multiple people may be able to help you by loaning or donating you gear. Your fans and friends may want to facilitate a fundraising campaign. Whether it's one item stolen or the whole shebang, don't be afraid to ask for help. It's likely people will want to support you, and while compassion for others can't replace the gear with sentimental value, it can certainly rebuild your faith in humanity. Number 6. When you receive a negative review. Any press is good press, right? Sort of. When you read a bad review of your music, you can't help but be bummed or even angry. Think about where it's coming from though. Was it deliberately hateful, written up with little to no logic behind the writer's distaste? Then ignore it. But oftentimes, there's commentary in there that could be constructive and notes rooted in real issues rather than just the writer's personal taste. Once the shock of a surprise bad review begins to wear off, because it will, try to actually consider its points. Could you be doing something differently that would improve the public's reception? Is this an opportunity to learn and improve your work? It's up to you how much power you want to give critics. Really, reviews are subjective by nature. In the end, what matters most are your fans. That's the criticism or praise you should listen to most earnestly. Keep them happy and the critics will come around. Or not. Your success shouldn't be gauged solely on press response. Number 7. When you're dirt broke. Did you also see the report that nearly half of the U.S. doesn't have $500 in savings? We definitely saw it, and wondered how much lower that number would be if it were only independent musicians polled. For so many musicians, surviving in the double-digit bracket is all too real. You can take solace in the fact that you aren't alone, of course, but that doesn't exactly fill the gas in your tank or put food in your stomach. Depending on your situation, you may need to take steps to remedy it in a lasting way. You've got options. You can take a break from touring or scale back on your music making to find work. You may want to rethink your funding. Are you spending too much of your own money on the act rather than generating income specifically for it? Are you being as frugal as possible while on tour? In general? Not saying that there's a simple solution to any independent musician's money problems, but there isn't. Each person has their own set of issues, struggles, and obstacles. The point is not to get stuck in the mires of the meltdown about finances, but instead work to improve your situation as best you can. As always, write your comments below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video. And for all of your promotion, marketing, and music career consulting needs, email ennisproductions@gmail.com.